Okay, so let's talk about this loop of Henle in the nephron. And this is really quite fascinating. And let me kind of put this in perspective for you. Here would be a kidney, right? And this would be sort of the collecting duct where the urine is created, and then it goes down to your bladder, which would be down here. Okay, and so these loops are going up and down all over the kidney. Now, way smaller even than this. I'm not even doing it small enough. But that's where this particular thing is. So the whole outside of the kidney, the cortex, is really pretty dilute at 300. And the whole medulla, which is sort of in the middle, right here, gets more and more concentrated as it goes in towards the inner medulla. Okay, and that's what you're seeing along here is this concentration, which is really kind of cool. And so these little loops go through this, up and down through this concentration. And along this side over here, it's permeable to water. But along the other side over here, oh wait, my bad, right here, it's permeable only to salt. And then on this last side over here, it's permeable to water again, which is pretty darn cool. I don't know how the body has figured this out. God's amazing. And so here we have this crazy setup. And so in a normal person, the blood that's coming in, so it's flowing in and around this glomerulus, the blood from the body, is at 300 normally. In a normal person that's taking sugar into their cells, they would be at 300. And so it's going to be isotonic to this cortex. And as it travels down, it's at 300, remember. So we get to here, this blood inside is at 300, but the outside is getting more and more concentrated. So since water can leave, water starts to leave as it goes down so that it remains isotonic. By the time it gets here, it's at 600, and by the time it gets here, it's at 1200 as water leaves. Okay, and then it starts to flow back up. So then the blood's going back up this way, but it's at 1200, whereas the surroundings are getting less and less concentrated. And so in this case, our salts are being dumped. So it's trying to get less concentrated as well. So by the time you get back up here, you're at 300 again. And then again, it does the same dive back down. And in this case, it's getting more and more concentrated on the outside. And so again, we're sucking water out of it and concentrating that urine. Okay, so the more sugar your urine goes in, the more concentrated it ends up being, okay? So that's what happens in a normal person. Let's look at what happens in Peter. Okay, so in Peter, when his blood is coming in, because he didn't have any insulin and none of the sugar was being removed from his bloodstream, he has a whole bunch of sugar coming into here. So it's at 1600, holy cow, when it enters the glomerulus. And so 1600 is way hypertonic to the 300 that's surrounding it, all right? And so in this case, instead of it starting to travel down and getting, wanting to get more and more concentrated, so we're pulling water out, in this case, it's way too concentrated inside the tube already. And so water actually flows in the wrong direction into the tube, trying to get it down to 1200 by the time we reach here. Okay, and then the same thing though, it's probably still a little too concentrated. So here we are trying to dump those salts, but sugar can't get out. So we're still way concentrated, 1200 to 1600 by the time we get back up here because sugar didn't leave, only salts. And so as the blood travels back down this way, it's still more concentrated than the surroundings, and so water continues to flow into the tube. And so by the time it gets to here, you have just tons and tons of water, way dilute urine. And that's why a person who's just being diagnosed with diabetes and is in this hyperglycemic state, they're peeing a ton. That's one of the symptoms we notice, is that they have tons and tons of urine, but it looks like water. It's not yellow in any way. Like it's so diluted because of this situation.